And welcome back to Hannity. So earlier today, Judge Pirro interviewed President Trump at the White House. Now, Judge Pirro asked the president about his tweet suggesting we do away with daily White House press briefings. By the way, I would include no more network interviews that they can use on their cable channels to beat the president up. Doesn't make sense. Watch this.
When we have those press conferences, I actually said we shouldn't have them. Because Sarah Huckabee,
it's been 100 years we've been doing
no,
it.
But listen, but
but
there's never been action like this. This is crazy. I mean,
we're
getting higher ratings. They're getting higher ratings on those press conferences.
Would you seriously consider stopping these press sessions?
No, we do it in a different way.
How?
We do it through a piece of paper with a perfectly accurate, beautiful answer. I'll give you an example.
In writing?
They're asked 100 questions or 50 questions or 20 questions. If they get 1 out of 50, just a little bit off, 5%, 10%, 20%, it's the next day it's a front page story in every newspaper.
Right.
Now, so press conferences weren't even covered for Obama practically. They were on C-SPAN and C-SPAN 2, and there was nothing going on.
But will you put an end to them?
Just a minute. These press conferences are like the biggest thing on daytime television.
They are. Okay?
You see the ratings.
Yes.
They're blowing away everything on just about, I think, everything on daytime television. What I'd love to do is stop them.
Are you moving so quickly that your communications department cannot keep up with you?
Yes, that's true.
So what do we do about that?
We don't have press conferences, and we do...
You don't mean that.
Well, just don't have them. Unless I have them every 2 weeks and I do myself. We don't have them. I think it's a good idea.
Yeah,
First of all, you have a level of hostility that's incredible. And it's very unfair. Sarah Huckabee is a lovely young woman. You know Sean Spicer. He is a wonderful human being. He's a nice man.
Is he your press secretary today and tomorrow? Will he be tomorrow?
Sure. He is. He's doing a good job, but he gets beat up.
Will he be there tomorrow?
Yeah, well, he's been there from the beginning.
And joining us now with more is the host of Justice, Judge Pirro. I got to tell you, I'm listening to this. This is music to my ears. And I had not seen the interview until now, and that was my opening monologue for the most part. Shut it down. In the age of social media, I'll give you an example. NBC does an interview. Don't do interviews with the network so they can spend hours and hours and hours tearing up every word this president says, something they'd never do to Obama. End it. He doesn't need the press.
And, Sean, that's why I said to the president, given what is happening, that everything is criticized, could it be that you're just moving too quickly and nobody can keep up with you? And, I wouldn't be surprised if he did pull back a little, because if he cannot speak or his staff cannot speak without someone going through it with a fine-tooth comb, then maybe he ought to do it every 2 weeks himself. And, then nobody could say, well, what were you thinking? And what did he say?
He doesn't need to talk to them. He can tweet out and reach more people in 5 seconds and put it on Instagram and Facebook than he's ever going to reach with these media snobs who colluded with Hillary, who are advancing the most bizarre conspiracy theories. Why bother? Why should he, I say, shut it all down? Every bit. He doesn't need them.
And the shame of it is that they make it so that all of the good things that he talked about during the interview are almost on, something that isn't even being highlighted. And it's covered up. And all of this lunacy is really a result of the press. The man is working hard. He is delivering on an agenda. He got a House health care bill passed. He's got bills that are signed, laws. And this is just plain unfair. And you could sense the frustration.
You know what? It's even deeper, because all of them, they get their 30 seconds in the press briefing with either Sean Spicer or poor Mike Huckabee's daughter. Sarah's a wonderful woman. And what they do is then they take their moment, act like they're so tough before their audiences, and that's all they're going to play. They're not going to play any of the substantive issues. I would also use social media to advance, as I said earlier, all the president's successes. All right, let me go to another cut you have. The Associate Deputy Attorney General Rosenstein said earlier today there's no need for a special independent prosecutor. You asked the president about it today, and he apparently agrees with the Deputy Attorney General.
You have it before you have it before the House and you have it before the Senate.
Right.
I know some of the people on those commissions are they're very ethical people, very talented, very smart people. I think let them just do it. You know, they've been doing it for a long time. I'd love to see...
They may never be finished. How do you prove a negative? How do you prove that you weren't involved? This could go on for 10 years.
I think it's been proved already. And to be honest with you, I want it to be accurate also. I want them to devote the time they need. I'd like it to go fast, but more important to me, much more than speed, I want them to be sure that Russia or anybody else, that if it did happen, if there was any, and everybody also agrees, by the way, it didn't change the election.
Right.
It didn't change the vote.
Another big part of the lie by the media is that, they're making these Watergate comparisons. I mean, the media is so ignorant because there was no firing or stopping of an investigation, and the president was clear about that last night. You have the House investigation, you have the Senate investigation, you're going to have a new FBI director, you have an interim FBI director, all committed, and a new commission, all committed to finding out any truth about this. But that's not the narrative. Clapper and others have said there's no there. There's no evidence of collusion with the president.
And they made it very clear. I mean, they had the, DNI, even Adam Schiff. There is no evidence of collusion yet. And the problem with that, Sean, is that you cannot prove a negative. If they never come up with it, should this simply overshadow all the successes of the president? And there are many of them. And for me, it was frustrating because I wanted to talk about all of these successes. The public wants to hear about it. So then you say, okay, well, maybe use your social media. And then he uses social media, and then he gets hammered for Twittering. For tweeting, I should say. So it's just a no-win.
No, I think there are ways to... I think making significant changes in the day and age when you go direct to the American people via Facebook Live, via Facebook, via Instagram, via Twitter, I don't see that the president has any problem. If I was him, I'd tweet out every week all of his successes from day one, as I said in my opening monologue, and I would give updates what he did this week. And it goes directly to millions and millions of people. It goes viral. All right, listen, Judge, congrats on the interview. Thanks for being with us. Full interview with the president airs tomorrow night, 9 Eastern, right here on the Fox News Channel.